He's also a fighting champion. He has a, oh my goodness, a dive over the top rope to kick things off. That's the high risk, high reward style that John Morrison brings. And as I was saying, he's a fighting champion. Could have taken the easy route, defend it against one guy, but he says no, tournament now.
And just to make this clear, John Morrison is the 5-star wrestling champion. He is willing to put that championship on the line on this historic night, live on Spike from the Dundee Ice Arena. And he's doing it in a first-round match of an elimination tournament against a giant former American football player, Moose.
Well, we're seeing that strength come into play here. This is not starting well for John Morrison. You saw Moose pick him up there with ease because, as you say, he was an American football player. He is a big guy. How is John Morrison going to overcome the size advantage that Moose brings?
Well, absolutely. John Morrison, the 5-star wrestling champion, has made his career on being agile, on having incredible balance, and he's in there with an absolute powerhouse. And the crowd is split. The crowd loves to chat for Big Moose, but they also respect the credentials of John Morrison from Los Angeles, California.
And we saw some forearm shots from John Morrison there, and Moose heading off the ropes, comes back. John Morrison targets him with a drop kick. Morrison back in control.
Just to make it clear once again, this is a first-round match, and I guess we saw the 8 men, including Morrison and Moose, set their stall out right at the top of this historic broadcast. I'm guessing, according to what the champion said, we're going to see those 8 men take part in this tournament.
And look at the strength of Moose, just picked him up with one arm and slams him onto the mat like he was nothing.
Moose goes in for the cover, hooks the leg, and John Morrison kicks out.
And for this early on in the matchup, that was a little bit too close for comfort for John Morrison, kicking out just at 2 there.
So the big man, Moose, a former Atlanta Falcon, a former New England Patriot, a former Los Angeles Ram and Indianapolis Colt. He's played for some of the top teams in gridiron, and he has made a successful transition to the ring. But at the moment, he's not having all his own way against the Prince of Parkour, the Shaman of Sexy, the champion, John Morrison.
Pop-up powerbomb from Moose, followed by the senton. Again, goes for cover.
Referee Thomas Kieran's moving in for the count. In order to score a victory in professional wrestling, you've got to hold your opponent down for the 3 count, make him submit, or a disqualification or a 10 count outside the ring or inside the ring will suffice too. Moose now measuring John Morrison. Morrison showing that balance, that agility, quick as a cat.
Well, they call him the Prince of Parkour for a reason, and this is the kind of techniques that he needs to be pulling out to overcome the size difference between the two. Because look, he is a massive 6'5" giant of a man, and John Morrison needs to be quick on his feet.
We see the contrast, the springboard drop kick from Morrison, and the straight ahead, no frills, left jabs from Moose, who pumps his right arm to get the fans behind him. Looked like he was going to measure him for a huge blow. Morrison lied to it. Moose nails him with a kick to the face, and once again showing the power. But Morrison, this is a man who is defending his championship, and in order to stay champion tonight, I guess he's got to win 3 matches, Joe. Who's going to possibly become...
He's put many competitors away with that. He calls it the go to hell, that choke bomb from the top of the turnbuckle there. He wants the support of the Dundee fans, but they love John Morrison too. It's very split.
See that replay there, the choke bomb from Moose, but it wasn't enough to put the champion away. Very imposing individual, Moose, but also incredibly athletic for a man of his size. Morrison having not to use that extra agility.